And in today's video, we're going to talk about the future of the DC cinematic universe. We've got some official update from James Gunn. Yes, he's been tweeting again. Sadly, this time he's been acting very unprofessional for someone that got fired kind of from Marvel. You would think he wouldn't want anyone firing shots at him, but he keeps doing this to himself. You got to understand, he is the studio head now. He shouldn't be acting like a child, to be honest. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel DC pop culture based content that we try to deliver on a daily basis. If you're good, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below, what are you expecting when James Gunn officially reveals whatever he's going to reveal in January? And as I've always said, he's literally going to reveal nothing. But for fun, let's just spitball down below, guys. Comment down below, what is he actually going to reveal? And also, if you could, please follow me on Twitter, WarstuG, because it's my smallest platform and I'd very much appreciate it. And if you want to get into a conversation with me, it is the easiest platform to get in touch with me. And also, if you could, check us out on Instagram, @Warstu, to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. All right, let's get into this video. So, where do we freaking start? The DC universe is in freaking disarray. It really is in huge disarray. Is James Gunn even in charge? You got to understand, if you follow me on Twitter, guys, I do troll. So, when I tweet something, don't take it like I'm being serious. So, James Gunn always responds to the smallest accounts ever. So, this was said. With DC, Doom Patrol, and Titans officially ending due to the direction of James Gunn and Saffron, all the fans can say is good luck. It's a mighty big hill. You have to climb with the majority of fans over who enjoyed the shows and movies. I'll be kicking my feet up waiting. And then he says this: the decisions to end the series precedes us, but I certainly wish the best for the talented group of creators, actors, and the rest of the crew that produce both shows. So, the head of DC Studios is saying it had absolutely nothing to do with him and Pete Safran. So, they decided to cancel Titans and Doom Patrol months ago, but they only decide to reveal this information once the final season has started to air. Now, I put up a sarcastic tweet to this, and people are like, yo bro, this happened before James Gunn even took over. Did it? Did it though? We don't know. Is James Gunn really in charge? I mean, yeah, he is, but I realistically don't think he is. Let me explain. It's like the Henry Cavill situation. He's basically been told what to do, what to make the focus by the head of Warner Bros. Discovery, David Zaslav. And I know this is real. It doesn't matter to me if this information's ever public or not, but I know that he is being told he's got a bunch of mandates that he has to do. Now, he can spin this narrative all he wants that the DC universe is him and Pete Safran. The whole 8 to 10 year slate is 100% to do with what they want. No, it's not. It's really not. You know why? Because so many people were given the opportunity to be head of the studio and no one really wanted it at all. Nobody wanted the role because they knew how much backlash, how much hate you would get from taking over the studio, and also how hard this would be. James Gunn is not making things easier for himself. So, when he comes out and goes, Superman is a priority, Batman's a priority, Wonder Woman's a priority, David Zaslav said, even before Discovery took over, that the Holy Trinity would be the vocal point of the new DC universe. So, yes, James Gunn and Pete Safran are in charge, but they have been given bullet points of things they have to do and have to meet. So, people keep asking James Gunn, yo, when is the slate coming? When is the slate coming? And as I've always said, he never said there was a slate coming. He responded to a fan saying this: I'm not announcing the 8 to 10 year slate, just a few projects from the first chapter 3 days ago. I mean, this has been doing the rounds. I like to build up a bunch of DC stories before I make DC videos, generally speaking, at the moment, because they're not actually making anything new currently outside of what's already been filmed. Obviously, the Flash movie, Aquaman 2, Blue Beetle, and Shazam! Fury of Gods, which we should be getting a trailer for today. So, they're using the word chapters instead of phase 1, because if they use the word phase, it'd be compared to Marvel. A few projects. So what does a few mean? Google, define a few. Well, a few to me means 2. So a few, according to Google, a small number of, used to emphasize how small a number is. He had few friends. So 2 or 3 is generally the perception. So as I've always said, they're not going to announce crazy amounts of projects or information. I'm actually thinking when this information comes out, he's literally just going to tweet it. Why? Because James Gunn has somewhat of a decent reach on the internet, on Twitter, when he tweets something. I mean, most of his actual tweets get over 1 million impressions and then the whole internet will share it. So if this is really hypothetically going to be a full-on soft reboot or hard reboot or medium reboot, realistically, the first few projects should be the Superman project, Green Lantern, the Batman project, and Wonder Woman. If that is really going to be the way they're going to go around it, it's most likely not going to be that. It's most likely going to be Peacemaker Season 2, the Superman project, and the Green Lantern project. But people are really eager to find out this information. Personally, for me, it is what it is, and as I keep saying, we won't be seeing a new DC Universe movie come out till at least 2025. Why? Because the Batman 2's realistically not got much to do with James Gunn, although, yeah, he's head of studio. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker 2 with Harley Quinzel, Lady Gaga, realistically got nothing to do with them either, but yeah, it will come under the DC Studios franchise. So whatever this Superman or Batman or Green Lantern or Teen Titans movie, whatever they're trying to do, we won't realistically get anything new directly from them until at least 2025, which is why people should chill. DC Studios will probably have a really long casting for said characters because whoever they cast as the next Superman, it's going to be pinnacle because whatever the first movie in the DC Studios universe is, it's going to have to be really strong. Now, James Gunn, someone who was fired kind of from Marvel for very edgy tweets, is trolling the fans. I get it, he's being trolled and stuff like that, but you wouldn't ever see Kevin Feige or Amy Pascal, when she was in charge of Sony, doing things like this. James Gunn bluntly responds to backlash of Henry Cavill's Superman. I mean, this is such a childish reaction that James Gunn, the head of the studio, why would you respond like this? It is such a below-the-belt reactive response. And I get it. I really do get it. You are getting hit hard, but you knew you would get hit hard by getting rid of Henry Cavill Superman. Because when people think of Superman, they just think Henry Cavill Superman is Superman. They don't think Henry Cavill. They think he is the Superman. Now, they've promised the blueprint, a powerful vision to push the DC universe forward with the stories, but then he's contradicted himself a million times by going, yeah, we just got to make sure the casting's right and they're easy to work with. Which one is it, James? Is it the casting's right? Or is it the story's right? So I don't agree with Fire James Gunn. As I said, I really enjoyed Peacemaker Season 1. I think the Suicide Squad was good, but I think it could have had someone like Deathstroke as the villain. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, very good. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, not so much. Volume 3 does seem pretty good based on the leaks of 100% being confirmed. So, James Gunn, I don't want to talk this way, but he kind of did attack a fan in a roundabout way. So he basically said this: it'd be great if at least they knew how to spell an actor's name before making snarky comments. So someone missed out the extra L on Cavill's name. So it was "you cat dude" off an entire franchise worth of fans. Nobody gives a about your cat, okay? And then he responds with, it'd be great if at very least you knew how to spell an actor's name if you were going to be so outraged. As I said before, it doesn't matter if you spell Henry Cavill's surname right. People think of Superman as Henry. Henry is Superman. So a certain minority of people have not responded well to James Gunn. And I mean, we can't really say Pete Safran's plan because Pete Safran hasn't said anything. If you're going to get rid of Henry Cavill Superman, who is beloved, after Henry Cavill came out on Instagram and confirmed he had the go-ahead to say, yo, I'm back as Superman long term, and then be like, yeah, no, he's not, because we're going with a younger Superman because we can't afford people. Is it to do with money? We're never going to know the real reason. But they need to actually realize the audience is the audience. And sure, the audience is really the general population. The audience actually isn't really the people that talk about comic book superhero stuff on Twitter let's be honest, I know this comment will really annoy a lot of people, but generally speaking, the people that actually go to the box office, yeah, okay, they are the people that tweet about this kind of stuff, sure. But movies, you know, like Top Gun Maverick, like Avatar 2, just banged over $2 billion. Generally, they don't need people talking about the movies online and all this kind of disarray. But if you're going to attack a fandom on the internet that you're in charge of now about spelling, when you lost your job for some very dark, edgy tweets, it's not really a good look for a head of a studio, is it? No. And if he wants people to stop this, fire James Gunn hashtag, stop triggering the fan base. I really don't understand why he keeps trying to trigger the fan base. I get it. He thinks he's funny. He thinks he's dark. He thinks he's edgy. It's cute. I get it. I really do get it. But if you want a better relationship with the audience, just be like Kevin Feige, the person that taught you everything you know, and don't say anything. So Warner Brothers Discovery is to host a Madison Square Garden event showcase in May. It's not to do with DC. It's nothing to do with DC. It's to do with HBO Max stuff. Don't get your hopes up. Don't think there's going to be a slew of DC stuff. And people were calling it the D23. Yeah, the D23 for Warner Bros. Discovery, not necessary for DC, because as James Gunn said, we're going to be announcing a few things. They're not really going to be telling you anything. As we said at the start of the video, most likely something to do with Superman, something to do with Batman, something to do with Green Lantern, maybe. Peacemaker, maybe. They're not realistically going to be saying much. Now, we are getting the Shazam 2 trailer out today, and the plot leak's already been confirmed, verified to be real, so be interesting what other details it reveals to be officially confirmed. But I wouldn't be expecting to hear anything outside of Peacemaker. It's pretty much just an HBO Max upfront show that's in May, so I don't get why they're calling it D23, because D23 focuses on literally everything. Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, everything. So it's nothing like D23 if you ask me. DCU Chapter 1! Instead of calling it, it realistically is DCU Phase 1, but they don't want to be cast under the spell of, oh, they're copying Marvel with Phase 1. I don't think the MCU, I don't think Marvel came up with the term phase. Phase has been a term for many years. It's just, I guess in terms of a cinematic universe, sure, I guess Marvel did have their phase first, but there's phases in every kind of fandom, if you like. Even Star Wars has their own phase, if you like, and so do many other properties. So that's it for the DC news. Is James Gunn really in charge? Of course he is, but he's got bullet points. They always have bullet points from the head of the company, being Warner Bros. Discovery. So we'll be lucky if you get 4 projects announced at sometime in January. So like always, guys, I'll try and keep you up to date with all the latest and greatest DC Universe news. I'll try and be positive, but when James Gunn keeps coming out with these snarky comments, keeps half saying something, but not really saying anything, it is kind of hard to break down. More annoying than hard, to be honest, because he doesn't actually say anything. I don't know. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G. And I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.